Hello, everyone. We're back again with a special True Talk, this time with a very special person who's near and dear to me, and I dare say my namesake. Most of you guys probably don't know this, but we are talking today with my niece, Regina Faye Jackson.
Hello, hello, everyone.
Hello, Gina. Thanks for joining me. Most of you who know her will know her as Gina, but her middle name is Faye. So,
Mhm.
hey, connect the dots.
Yes,
Connect the
yes,
dots on
Netta
that.
Babies.
And absolutely, absolutely. So, this is True Talk, part of the True Self Society kind of network. You know me, Netta Faye.
Yes.
And this week is a special week in our society. This is the 5 day countdown to the transmission of the Book of Burnett, a guide, a sign for those of you who are tired of wasting wisdom and who are ready to live your life. So, we're talking with Gina today, kind of on her perspective. She is number two of three granddaughters of my dad, Reverend B.S. Jackson. The B is for Burnett. So, okay, connect the dots. And I just wanted to chat with her for her to share kind of her perspective. So, Gina, start off by introducing yourself to the few people who may not know who you are.
Yes. And so thank you for that, transitional introduction there. But yes, I am Gina Jackson and I am the niece of Netta Faye. And I feel like being a part of this movement, this journey, this releasing of this guidance is going to be great for everyone. I feel so blessed to be a part of my grandfather, the late Reverend B.S. Jackson, and now we're able to share a piece of him with everyone else. And we definitely were impacted and benefited from all of his teachings and sayings and words of advice. And so it only makes sense for us to share with everyone else.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for that. As they say, yes.
Not
So, what
good.
about you, Gina? Tell us who you are. In addition to that,
In
you have a
addition,
special mission, I feel, on a
okay.
day-to-day basis. So,
Yes, I
mhm.
am the Youth and Family Program Director at the Athens YMCA here in Athens, Georgia. And I will say I landed here or with this position, not that I wanted it. It was almost like it was my destiny. I was destined to be
Mm,
the role that I'm in.
mhm,
And
mhm,
I will also add to that I was the same kid in the programs that I'm directing now. So, for example, any youth programs like dance and STEAM, which represents science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, ballet and tap. And I did those same activities when I was little going to the Y. So I did basketball. I learned how to swim at the Y. I played tennis
mm,
at the Y. I did
mm,
dance. And to now be a director over those same programs that I used to attend as a kid and walk the same halls is very humbling and
mm,
surreal. And now my nieces and nephews are going
mhm,
to the Y. And I'll also add another piece of information that's history with the Y. I am the first Black director there. And I didn't know
oh,
that along my journey of, some people like to call it climbing through the ranks, but I like to call it
mhm,
my timing. It was just the timing. And
mhm.
find that out after I was hired for a full-time position was like, whoa, that's huge. That's
That
major.
is huge. It
And
is.
I think a lot of it came from my work ethic, my morals, my values, the adults in my village, the role models that I had, and the sayings and teachings that were taught to me, which is what you've provided in the Book of Burnett. I think it's going to be a gem, like a diamond in the rough, with so much going on in the world today. And then
Mm-hmm.
you've got this book of guidance, this gem
Mm-hmm.
that is
Mm-hmm.
going to help provide balance where
Yes.
you feel there's none.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the word balance. And Gina, I'll add to your introduction. is that I think you came to this space, this realm, this earth as a youth whisperer.
Mm.
Because from early age, I think Gina was your number three of the grandchildren. Everybody behind you wanted to be with Gina. They used to fight over who would sit next to Gina.
Oh my goodness. I do not
You
remember.
you don't remember that?
I don't. Oh no, shed light. Shed light.
Everyone behind you. So you were not that much older than some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime we would have family gatherings or on vacation or whatever we were doing, they just wanted everybody wanted to sit next to Gina.
Oh my goodness.
So I think you have child whispering going on,
Hmm.
that you connect so well with them, and it must be a part of your being for you to do what you do and succeed at the Y, because you come across a lot of different families, a lot of different youth, and they obviously bring with them whatever's happening with them outside the Y, at school or at home, and some of those things land on your plate, and
Yeah,
you have to address that with children, parents, things like that. But you seem to love it. It
I
seems like
do.
you'll enjoy.
I do. Even through the
Yes.
tough moments, I love it. It's actually just, and I don't know if it's because I started going there when I was little. My dad started taking me to the YMCA when I was 4, and then
Mm-hmm.
I left for a small period of time and came back. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just something about that place, and I think I'll have some more information to share to add through the question
Okay.
section.
Sure, sure, sure. So
Awesome.
you did mention earlier about the adults in your circle when you were coming up, and how that influenced maybe your success in your career at the Y, and the things that you're able to accomplish, like you said, in the Y and around Athens. So what things that you remember from Poppy? That's what the grandchildren called my dad, Reverend B.S. Jackson Burnett. From Poppy, what things do you remember most from your interaction with him, and maybe some of the transmissions that you got from him?
Oh my goodness, so many. You can see I was rolling up my sleeves, like, okay, I know there's so many, but the one thing that stands out to me, one is an adventure of his and I, and then another one is a saying that he always says. And so I'll start with the mini story. I was sick from school one day, and he was my babysitter. Parents were at work, and I think my grandmother was still librarian at Clark Middle School here in Athens, and he was my babysitter. And we went to, I think this was like maybe the last day that I was like in recovery, like I was feeling better, doing good. And so we left the house and we got in the van and we stopped at the grocery store. We stopped at Kmart. I mean, I just had a fantastic time. And when we went to Kmart, and we went on the toy aisle, and I was looking at some toys, and I was really into Polly Pocket then. I think I might have been in elementary school. And there were two Polly Pockets that I was looking at. One was a little bit on the less expensive side, and one was a little bit more expensive. It might have been like 14. It was 14.99. And he said, you can get one of them. And I said something along the lines of, maybe get this one, but I really like this one. I could see it's a little more expensive. And he said, get that one. And I said, oh, okay. And it just, I mean, the fact that, I was thinking more of like maybe this one, because, growing up, your parents teach you to be conscious of, what you're buying and what you're spending and how much it is. Look at the price first. And I was one that
Mm-hmm.
never looked at the price, but today I looked at it because I guess I was with my grandfather, and he said, get the one that was 14.99. And I don't know what it was that it just stuck with me. And I think he could tell or tune into, okay, she's trying to decide between the two. And I could really
Mm-hmm.
tell, or he could really tell that I liked the one that was 14.99. And so he,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just so excited, took it home, played with it. I still have that Polly Pocket to this very day. Heart
What?
shaped Polly Pocket, yes, and along with the rest of them, but that one I still have it. My nieces
Mm.
play with it, And
Mm,
even getting it out of my little kind of treasure box that I keep all my
mm,
childhood memories in,
mm.
back to that moment where he said
Wow.
15.99
Get that.
Apollo.
Wow.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it's something where, he was going to have me make me feel better, and it did, or just, you've been kind of sick these last 2 or 3 days. Let's end it on a good
Mm.
note as you return back to school. And it did. I was really excited. And it took me back
Mm.
to, I'll add on, there's two sayings. One is that he always said to us, or I would hear him say, even at church, if you love someone, you do it in action, you show it in action. And him caring
Mm-hmm.
for me while everyone else was at work, and
Mm-hmm.
taking me to the grocery store, and taking me to Kmart and letting me choose which one, and he chose it for me, and I guess he could tell that I wanted that
Mm-hmm.
one. I know my grandfather loved me along with everybody else as his family
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
forward to, like,
Yeah.
so deep down inside. And
Yeah.
another saying I will add is that this always sticks with me. I say this all the time at work. I say it to my staff, anybody that I come into contact with, and we're
Mm.
communicating or talking, or if someone tells me they're going to do something, and I said, okay, your word is,
Mm-hmm.
a man is only good of his word. Like,
Yes.
your word is no good, then what good are you? And he says that all the time. If your word is no good, your word ain't no good, depending on who he's talking to.
Yeah.
Make sure he got the message across, then what good are you? Like, a man only has his word
Yes.
for people to
Yes.
fall back on. And I take that to this day to heart. And I
Yes.
learned when he would tell me that, if someone say, can I borrow this money from you and give it and I'll pay you back? And that quickly means, someone's borrowing to have. And I turn that into, okay, let me see if they're going to give me this money back. And if they don't give it back to me, their word is done. I don't care if it's $5, it's a wrap.
10 cents. I know.
10 cents, a quarter. I didn't,
Yes.
but having that foundation early, it didn't matter how small, how
Yeah.
little, how big, but it did help save me from a lot of big things when it comes to
Ooh.
communicating with people. And they say, I give you my word, or it saved me from a lot of other things that were
Ooh.
big, that could have, impacted my life negatively. But just having that moral, that just one phrase, it just stuck with me, and it
Mm-hmm.
still stays with me
Mm-hmm.
to this day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 That was one we heard a lot too. Yeah. If you heard it a lot, we heard it 10 times more
I'm sure
than
y'all did.
that. Yes, because I think for him it was a barometer of who your character and
Yes,
who you were, a basis of trust. Can I trust you? And it showed him how you managed your life.
right.
Yeah. If we're meeting at 2, you better be there at 1:55.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Don't
Yeah.
arrive at 2, because that's late
At
in
two,
his
you're
eyes. I'm
late. Yeah. And
gonna be there.
2:05. Oh yeah, you
Oh
really
yeah.
don't care.
No, you don't care. And then he would tell you that when you got there at whatever. You arrived on time, great, let's do this. Or if you arrived late, now we supposed to meet at this time.
Yeah.
Like, it was that, like, kind of
Yeah.
leading you, guiding you, but also letting you know when you need to learn from these moments so that you can continue to grow, and it doesn't, it contributes to
Right.
success in the future.
Right. Right. That your word matters.
Word matters.
And for him, it should matter to you more than the other person.
Right.
Yeah, because when you're speaking first your word to yourself.
Hmm.
Can you trust yourself? Can you honor yourself? Can you be true to
Right.
yourself?
Right.
And then once you get that down, then it's for you. Then you can express that forward to other people
Yeah.
because it's not about them. It's about you. It's my word,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm protecting it for
Start
me.
here
And
first, for
yeah,
sure.
not for anybody else. Yeah. So he was seeing all of that.
All of
Yeah.
that.
When he would say something, it wasn't just one thing parallel. It
Mm.
was multidimensional.
Multiple
Yeah.
things, and they could be
About
sentences about what you're talking about, and it's like, he drops this gem, he drops that, like, oh yeah, I remember that, oh yeah, just around
hmm
whatever topic you're talking about, there was always
hmm
some advice, some wisdom, something to think
hmm
about, something to carry along with you.
Yep, yep. Not to shame you, but to spare you,
Oh
to
yes.
help you carve out a
Hmm.
life you want to live by managing yourself in this particular way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you said a lot of that shows up on the job. Is any other ways that it has helped you in your life? I know you just mentioned a big one is communication.
Mhm.
I know you also to be a person who is very conscious about your spending.
Mhm.
You know, you're a person that your money is going to work for you and not against you.
Yes.
And I suspect your grandfather had something to do with planting that seed there, and even if it was by through way your dad,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for
because
sure.
that was another big thing
Mhm. Mhm.
for Poppy, because he had bruises
Yeah.
of having been broke, of
Yeah.
having not having money,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
his objective was to spare us those lessons, to
Right.
say you're gonna have mistakes.
Mhm.
You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna learn from your lessons. Don't repeat the ones I'm telling you about,
Exactly.
because I'm
Exactly.
telling you these right here.
Yeah.
So managing money was another one. I don't know if you want to share anything,
Yeah.
your thoughts or philosophical
Mhm.
about, how that show up in your life.
I will say the saving aspect of money. Now, granted, I feel like I guess you could say it's a happy balance. My dad, who is Burnett's firstborn, he's more on he could care less about going shopping. The grocery store, yes, but going to buy clothes and all, if he does buy something, he's keeping it years and years and years later. Like he's not gonna buy it again.
Mhm.
He's gonna keep
It's
it
an
forever.
investment. Yeah,
Yes,
he's
yes,
not
it's an
just
investment.
he's not
Yes,
fashion forward.
it's not fashion forward. He could care less about any, going to buy something new, a sale, 50% off, 25% off, and that doesn't phase him. That doesn't excite him. Saving money, investing money, getting interest rates on accounts, that excites him. I mean, all the way down to how much gas you save in cars that you purchase. And he's a very number type of person.
Numbers type
And
of, yes.
insurance agent and just, selling
Hmm.
policies to families and educating them on life insurance. And so even for us, any aspect of we were doing is like, well, how much money is that? I could be going on a trip. Well, how much you spend on the plane ticket? And how much was this? And I'm like, sometimes I don't even want to tell them because it's not in a bad way, but then on my grandfather's side, if you work hard, you reward yourself to a certain degree. And
Yes,
you can't take
yes,
the money with you, but one thing
yes.
I loved seeing my grandfather do, and that was he was very he took pride in taking care of himself and his appearance, and he never
Hmm.
left the house without, putting on, representing himself well. Like he didn't leave the house in
Hmm.
pajamas and slippers. No offense to anyone
Hmm.
that does that, but
Hmm.
also you never know who you're going to run into, who could help you
Hmm.
next level, networking. And so he took pride in how he represented himself and the example that
Hmm.
he showed for us. And he
Hmm.
believed in going out to eat and going on
Hmm.
vacation and taking care of
Hmm.
yourself and taking care of the family around you. And he
Hmm.
would splurge, but he would also save his money, and he would also
Hmm.
make sure everybody around him was taken care of. And so I would say my
Hmm.
grandfather, it was a happy balance. With
Yeah.
dad, it's more like we're staying all the time, 24/7. If it don't make money, it's not making sense. You got to make money in your sleep now when you close your eyes. The interest rate, like, and I love it's almost like the pieces of the puzzle have come together so that I
Hmm.
can have that happy balance because
Yes.
get caught up in that too. Like, okay,
Yes.
all the time, I'm going to save. I'm not going to do this and not going to do that. And not saying that he didn't want to do those things. That's just what he liked. That was his true
Hmm.
self to save
Hmm.
and see
Hmm.
the fruits of his labor on how hard he was working was giving him
Hmm.
results. He spoke numbers.
Hmm.
But then also on this side, I like to
Hmm.
have a good time and hang out with friends,
Hmm.
socialize,
Hmm.
and go on trips. And so just having
Hmm.
that happy balance, because you work so hard, you got to be able to take time away from the work wheel so that you can
Sure.
yourself, take care of
Sure.
yourself,
Sure. Sure.
still reward yourself, but still have that happy balance of being conscious of financial spending, saving, budgeting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think from that conversation too, you came back to that word balance. So
Hmm.
that I think that's going to be our word for the 5 day
I believe
countdown to
so.
the
I
transfer
believe so.
balance.
Yeah.
Because yeah, Dad was very um, focused on having balance in your life, and even when it came to money, save some, spend some. That was kind of one of his truths
Yes.
that did make it into um, to the book. I think, and you mentioned about the toy that he bought you. That again
Yeah.
was the balance of showing love. One of the truths he said that love bounces both ways.
It
Again, that's that balance
does.
again that he
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
So switching a little bit to the world we find ourselves in
Yes.
today,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Make your head go like
And
this.
yeah. And stuff is a kind word. A lot of
Right.
stuff
Right. We can
going
take another
on
that one.
that we
Right.
seeing today. Yep. What used to be limited to black and brown people in terms of uh, brutality,
Hmm.
enforcement, law things.
Yeah.
We're seeing that now being openly shared to people who don't look like us.
Right.
And that can be discerning for a lot of people to say, we're at this level where it
Hmm.
has gotten to this. There are a lot of these things that are happening now. Our communities have known, and
Right.
we've kind of figured out some ways around it or
Try to
managing through
navigate
it
it.
and everything. But now
Yeah.
you're like, oh, wait, it's happening to them.
Right. Right.
Yeah, what is this telling us in a lot of ways? And I do want people to be discerning about what they're seeing, not bury our heads in the sand, be wise about how we might decide what we're going to do in
Hmm.
response to what's going on.
Right.
So, when you and your friends, beautiful black women, get together and talk, what are kind of some of the concerns you have about what you see happening, and how might elder wisdom, ancestral wisdom, help us find good paths to the future to navigate the things we're seeing now?
Yeah. And so some of the things we talk about, family is a big one. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
us are play large roles in our families, whether it's the auntie role, the daughter role. Parents are getting a little bit older in age, and so
Mm-hmm.
we're stepping up to like the circle of life. It's kind of starting to be our turn to take care of
Mm-hmm.
innocence in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Mm-hmm.
family is a big one. Social media is another one that
Mm-hmm.
it's in everybody's household.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is playing a role, even when you don't realize that it's playing a role.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it can sneak up on you, whether it's the TV, the iPad, your cell phone, just you just never, it can just sneak up on you before you know it, and it's taking over your life. You're being balanced. And
Mm-hmm.
another one is just getting together right now. Another one I would say, not another one, but getting together seems to be a little bit more difficult now than it used to be. And I don't know if it's because, well, actually, I feel like it's time is moving so fast. And I don't know if that's because, the social media aspect of it, or, the retail stores are putting out things earlier and earlier, like the week of
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve, December
Mm-hmm.
23rd. We went to my boyfriend and I went to do some Christmas shopping, and Valentine's Day things were already out. Hearts, teddy bears. And I actually told let's just go. I don't want to see this right now. We are still buying gifts. Christmas, we're still in Christmas mode, season mode. January hasn't even gotten here yet. Week of Christmas, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And so that stuck with me to try to make sure I live in the moment. And so,
Yeah.
as far as moving so fast, and calendars and meetings and all these things are getting in the way, it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like, making sure we take the initiative, and not maybe the initiative, but not allowing it just to be funerals that force us to stop, put
Yeah.
everything down in a way to come together,
Yes.
making sure we practice that balance of hey, girls, want to go to dinner or let's have a girls' night in? Whose house
Mhm.
could host us all bringing something to eat, bringing a fun
Mhm.
game, and no cell phones, no TV. Let's just have
Mhm.
a girls' night in, not necessarily a girls' night out if you want to play it
Mhm.
friendly. And so just
Mhm.
kind of making sure that the world doesn't make us kind of go like this along with everything
Mhm.
that's going on in society,
Mhm.
just making sure that, staying true to ourselves, but then also knowing that you have your circle of friends that you can fall back on to help you
Mhm.
keep that balance. I had a situation that came up, and not necessarily a situation, but just needing somebody to talk to. And I reached out to a friend of mine, and it was just like she was blowing air back in my bubble or my
Ooh.
ball. Like I felt
Mm.
deflated, and I just was like, I need to talk to someone. And I've had this friend since middle school. And so
Mhm.
having her pump air back into, my
Mm.
ball, my spirit, it was just like,
Yes.
I can continue to move forward. And so I would definitely just say social media, family, keeping that balance, and
Yes.
slowing down to and just having each other's backs if we need to.
Yes, yes, yes. That sounds like good wisdom that your grandfather would be proud to hear you say. Yeah, that we stay connected in times like these.
Hmm.
We check on each other. Like you said, we make time to connect and be sure that everyone's okay. Um, Also, when you were talking about slowing down, or when you decided to leave the store because they were pushing Valentine's on you even before Christmas had come,
Yeah.
that consciousness is a way for us to be in this world, but not of this world.
All right.
And that is a very important position to be in. So we're not tossed around by the craziness that can go on of the people who are leading this world. This world we live in right now is very money centric,
Yeah.
which is why you see Valentine's things out
Right.
in December, or Christmas things out in October,
Yes.
because it's about the money.
Hmm.
But just because they do that doesn't mean we have to take the bait,
Exactly.
which is also why I love this transmission that's going to happen on
Right.
Saturday, because it is about personal responsibility. It's about you making the choice of how
Hmm.
you're going to live your life and not allowing anyone else to make it for you, no matter how sincere and wonderful they are. It's your life. You
Exactly.
make the decision. You be accountable for it. You be responsible for it. That's how you can be in this world, but not of this world.
Right.
Is how you can be in this world, but really of the earth, or of the universe,
Right.
of
That
Creator
effect?
God. Come on now.
Yes. Yes.
Of
Offspring of
Creator
Burnett. Come
God.
on.
Yeah, yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's why I'm excited. I think we need these reminders. I think we need a lot of the truths and the wisdoms that Dad spit out for these times.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of times, for convenience sake, we give up our own life authority.
Hmm. Hmm.
That you putting yourself in a bad position like
Always.
that, or as Dad would say, you're on shaky ground now.
You make haste
That
making waste. So
Yeah,
Lord,
yeah, that you're
yeah,
leaving
tread lightly.
someone else in charge,
Yeah.
and whoever feeds you, they're in charge.
That's it.
Whoever's financing you, they're in charge.
Hmm. Yeah, for
It's your
sure.
choice. Yeah, yeah. So, that is good. Oh man, you know, I was gonna ask you,
Yeah.
maybe as we kind of wrap up, one
Okay.
word you would use to describe, the wisdom that we're needing now, the wisdom that will be transmitted through the Book of Burnett on January 31st, which would have been Dad's 95th birthday.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that word might be balance.
I
It
think
has
so.
come up time and time again in this discussion.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
you may have some parting words or some other things on your heart you want to share, and just feel free to do that.
I honestly believe between balance and truth is the
Mm,
words that stick with me
okay.
or that come to mind. And what I was mentioning earlier about bringing the why back in our conversation. And so I think this is a great time to bring it up as we start to conclude. when I first started
Mhm.
working at the Y, and I've shared this story with several people before when they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with their career,
Mhm.
their life. And once I started working at the Y, I knew I didn't want to leave. I didn't know how I was
Mm.
going to stay. I didn't know, but I made it a point to stay there. I absolutely
Mhm.
loved being there when I first started working there. I feel like I could be myself, that I didn't have to be anyone else, and that I
Mhm.
could be Gina Jackson. And
Mm.
so I started working there as much as I could, even through the times of my dad wanting me to have a second option in a career choice, only because
Mhm.
that was that protective aspect of, make sure
Sure.
you've got a plan, something that's
Mhm.
going to bring income. You can love something,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, love don't pay the bills. And I understood what he was saying, but there was something deep down inside of me that would
Mhm.
not let me stop working at the Y. Like
Mhm.
I kept going. I took a year off in 2006 after I graduated high school in 2005. And I just
Mhm.
worked as much as I could there, volunteered just to get my foot in the door. And there really wasn't a position for me. I
Mm.
basically made one for myself.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I kept going. I kept going
Mhm. Through college.
through
Yep.
college. I started saving money, and then I would share that with my dad and try to win him over because down inside, this is where I want to be. I don't know how I'm going to
Yes.
stay here, but
Yes.
it was like I always knew deep down inside that whatever I do in life, I want to love
Mhm.
it. I want to be able to wake up in the morning,
Yes.
love what I do. I don't want to wake up and hate what I do. Send love and light to those that are currently probably experiencing that right now. But I was
Yeah.
determined to have a career that I love and not do
Yeah.
anything that I don't love. And I did have that
Yeah.
experience in college. And I said,
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. And so long story short, I end up making the Y a career, a home, a
Mhm.
second home. Is
Mhm.
benefiting my family right now as far as health wise,
Mhm.
being physically
Mhm.
active. And now it's my dad is like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. You know,
Yeah.
and I started my 401k when I was
Mhm.
second year in college because I worked
Mhm.
for so long. And so for him, not saying that he wasn't on my side and in my corner, it was that wisdom and those morals and values that were instilled in him that he grew up with, that he wanted to make sure that I was making the right decision that was
Mhm.
going to help me in the long run. And although
Mhm.
giving me that guidance, I had to make sure I was staying true to myself. I kept what he was saying in the back of,
Absolutely.
and I
Absolutely.
kept making sure that if that this is benefiting me, but it was
Mhm.
just something about it. I don't know if it was the universe's ear, the Most High's ear. It had to be the Most High because
Mhm.
I don't know any other voice that would have not allowed, but
Mhm.
had me go not against the grain, but
Mhm.
no, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
here and
Yeah.
working and doing this, and
Yes.
it's just been
Yes.
it's been amazing, and
Yes,
so
yes, yes, yes. It had
thank
to be your true self because your
absolutely.
dad and I, we didn't grow up in a so much do whatever you want. It was do whatever brings you security until you leave here. So they did lay out this yellow brick road, but on that yellow brick road, you didn't have the freedom to say, I really love doing this. And if it's something, off the beaten path or God forbid, artsy, they were like, oh, no, 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 no. Because that was their understanding, right? That's what
Yes,
they knew. So
yes.
I really applaud you for following that thing within. I know it was the child whisperer inside you
Had to be. I like that you went back to
doing
that. It
that.
had to. I wasn't leaving. I don't know how I was gonna stay there to convince him to get on my team. But at the end of the day, I was like, I'm gonna work hard, and whatever comes with that, I'm down for it. And
Yeah,
it did. The hard work
yeah,
paid
yeah.
off.
He loves the why. He loves the
Oh,
why.
he is
And
number one advocate. I feel
yeah,
like sometimes.
and you're kind of known in the community as the why. You're kind of synonymous with the why, particularly to Black and Brown communities that need to take advantage of that asset in the city.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, so they know you as the why person, and that's a positive thing. And
Oh yeah.
you've
Oh
helped a lot of people
yeah.
coming through there, not just the students, but other people looking for work or doing things. I mean, you've been able to use that to uplift the
Mhm.
community.
Yeah, and
So
that's one
that's
part
a
of
good thing.
having a balance is to be active and physically active and move around and keep that blood flowing. Because if you don't,
Mm-hmm.
you don't use it, you lose it. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, definitely, if I am that connection to the community, some aspect of the community, who, when, where, whatever the case may be, then
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for that when providing
Mm-hmm.
that balance to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 And I know you do a lot of good things in the community. And
Yeah.
I don't know, did you start the Y choir?
I would say it was a combination of
Okay.
ideas. We always wanted to have a choir at the Y, dating way back to when I started as a summer camp counselor in 2004, and it just kind of kept going on. We have what we call there's a chapel on our
Mm-hmm.
property, and we take kids there to do devotions and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sing-alongs and skits, and we would oftentimes end up singing in there. And it's a small little church, and oftentimes we're like, we need to start a choir. We need to. So I would say to kind of help get that ball rolling, and another employee who is skilled in singing and playing the piano. His mother was one of my bus drivers, and the connection, I didn't realize that, that he was right underneath my nose, that we had someone that could help us jumpstart that. And I will
Mm-hmm.
say it has been amazing. We hope to resume that program because choir singing is more than just singing in a choir. It's, standing tall, working together as a
Mm-hmm.
unit, and having that
Mm-hmm.
confidence. It's not easy to sing in front of people. And so I will
Mm-hmm.
say the kids that helped us jumpstart that program and
Mm-hmm.
help us bring others a part of that, they wouldn't have experienced that anywhere else. If it,
Yes.
one, wasn't for
Mm-hmm.
the why, two, me growing up in the church and having those
Mm-hmm.
experiences of seeing how when the choir comes together, it just brings this type of soul feeding feeling to you
Mm-hmm.
during whatever
Mm-hmm.
time is going on in
Mm,
your life.
going on. So that's a good one too for these times we're in.
Yes.
Get a song
Yes.
on and start dancing,
Come on.
start
Yes.
singing. That
Mm-hmm.
will help you, help you.
Yeah.
Well, Gina, I've enjoyed our chat today,
Same here.
remembering, but also sharing with people what we learned and what the wisdom and truth that Dad passed along, how it has helped us, and how I believe it will help others who
Sure.
get this transmission starting Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you guys, we appreciate your journey and your listening in. Gina and I, we inherited freckles from my mother and her
Yeah.
siblings, and I always love her constellation. Whenever I talk about it, her forehead constellation, I always love that, and it's such a signature kiss from the
Mm-hmm.
divine.
Yeah.
So we will part again, reminding everyone the Book of Burnett transmission happens on January 31st. We'll send you the link on January 31st. And as a tribute to what would have been Dad's 95th birthday, that's when I want everyone to go out and get their own transmission on
Yes.
January 31st.
Yes.
And
Yes.
until the next time, be well, enjoy, and have a wonderful day.
Yes.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Bye. Bye.